listening to Dead Heat, DeadHeatHipHop.com. What up? Dead Heat here, and I want to show you guys how I make some beats. So let's dive right in. So this is what I'm rocking with. I got a Newmark CD player and an Axis 8, so I can capture loops and shit. I got a couple capture buttons. I got loop in here, I got loop in here, and I got a play button with a pause joint. So that's technically 3. I count 3 loop captures, and then I'm over here with the MPC+ and standalone mode. All right, so tip number 1, always sample on the downbeat. The downbeat is always the 1, the 2, the 3, or the 4 when you're counting a bar. So you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Always sample on the downbeat. For beginners, if you wanna, if you're more advanced than that, then by all means, sample wherever you want. Yeah, I love pianos. Piano samples are the best. Yo, yeah. So I'm tapping to find a tempo. Let's see how it sounds sped up. Alright, so I'll start with a really simple drum pattern. Now we're gonna see how the sample fits. Now we're gonna see how the sample fits over that. Yeah, sounds like that's a theremin. So right now, taking all the samples that I took, which is 10. I took 10 different samples in that song, and now I'm gonna chop them up. So I have the playback function on the drums, but I'm also, trying to fuck with the sample and shit now too. So. So I'm just gonna fire through these real fast. Alright, so just add a hi-hat. I'm gonna copy my sequences out now. I hope this shit comes out dope. This sounds like almost like Wu Tang to me, but I don't know. You guys could tell me what it sounds like. Alright, so I'm gonna go over to Pad Mixer, tap that pad, go over here to Inserts, and try to find a little bit of a reverb. That's good. All right, air reverb, whatever. Sure. Let's get this. Let's get these parameters on point then. So I like to go with their settings, and then I adjust their settings from my settings. All right. So that sounds a lot better. Yeah. That's a cool little variation, so I'm gonna copy that out and I'm gonna add that. I think that's gonna be my intro. Kick snare and a hat are all gonna be track muted on that. Alright, so I got the beat pretty much mapped out on the MPC in terms of sequences. So I went to song mode, mapped everything out. I'm now gonna save it. I hope I fucking named it. I did name it. That's good. Alright. File management is key. So boom, I got the skeleton pretty much. Yeah, actually, no, it's not the skeleton. So pretty much I got now the fucking like the meat of the beat. It's pretty much ready. So now I want to find a break drum. And to find a break drum, I'm going to go to Splice. And I'm going to look for breaks. Because these are the breaks. And I'm in between whole number tempos. I'm at like 91.5 right now. So I'm going to try to look for a BPM range that's like 90 to 92. And kind of see what works. You know, over time you develop an ear and shit. So if you don't have an ear on what works and what doesn't, just trial and error all the time. So I'm basically gonna play the beat, I'm gonna audition it while the other beat's going, and I have the you know, the dial here on the MPC, the direct and main, and I can basically, instead of doing half and half or like one all the way, I can just basically give it a nice little mix on the fly to see how it sounds. So let's do that. I like that one. Alright, that's the one. That's the winner right there. That did not take long. Alright, so back. Alright, so I found a good break drum. That didn't take long. Now I'm gonna record it in. Splice has this link feature where you can basically put it in the MPC and it downloads automatically, but I don't have a download folder on this SD card, so we're just gonna fucking sample it in. You can hear a nice little flanger on that too. That's a nice little break, I like that. Alright, now here's the tricky part. I just assigned it to the pad. I'm gonna go to program edit now, because I gotta adjust the BPM basically. And this is all an ear game. So I'm going to listen to it, I'm going to stop the beat in the middle, I'm going to see the tail ends, and if the tail ends of the samples that still play are in line with the tail end of the break drum, then I know I'm pretty much on point. It's listed here as a 92 BPM, so I'm going to bring it down a couple, you know, fine cents is what they're called. They're called cents, C-E-N-T-S. Not much, maybe like 8, 9. We'll see how that sounds. Sometimes to make sure, I'll hit the play start button and I'll hit the pad at the same time to see if everything lines up too. That's another trick I got. I'm going to find a nice pocket for my break drum. And the break drum, I'm going to bring the velocity down and lazy mix it instead of going to the pad mixer and the fader. And I'm going to bring it down to like 29, see if it's a nice pocket for it. So let's see, we're going to record it too. To me. Alright, so it's confession time. I don't know too much about music theory, but I have worked out a way around that. So basically, I'll take the keyboard, I'll sit here, I'll play the beat, and I'll play different notes and see what note resonates with the beat. So to me, that's the fucking note. That's the note that resonates the most to me with the beat. So now, you know your fucking simple keys, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G on a piano. If you don't, look them up. You can Google it. Now I'm just going to go to I'm going to open up Google. And I'm going to see what notes are in that scale so I can find a bass line. I don't know if I feel this fucking... That tone is too much. Pretty much fell into that bass line. That was pretty cool. So it's a long, so I like that. So I'm gonna sample that in to my MPC and throw it on a pad. My pads are set up now. I can throw the sample down onto the track. Let's let's see how it sounds. I'm going to bring my velocity down a little bit, so kind of try to subtly have it in there. So that's what I like, subtle bass. Like you're only going to hear it when you fucking crank it up in the car and shit, you know? Alright, so now I'm going to pad mixer. I'm going to hit the pad, I'm going to go to effects, and I'm going to get a low pass filter on that. So I'm just seeing how it sounds in the pocket and shit, where I'm putting it basically. So, you know, if you think of your mixing window like a box basically, I'm trying to place it in the box and see if it sounds good in that spot. So I think it sounds pretty dope where it is and at the level it is in terms of fader. So yeah. So I'm just making sure that that bass line's on every single sequence because I like that bass line. And yeah, I usually change up the bass line during the song, but this bass line works for the whole song, so I'm digging it. Kind of want this one to be simple because it's got that old school flavor-ish, like 90s feel to it. It kind of feels like Wu Tang to me. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe you can tell me in the comments, you know. The best thing that I've learned for mixing is basically turn your volume all the way down, right? And then slowly bring it back up so you can hear it. So it's audible, like barely audible to you. And then you can see if anything is louder than something else in the mix. So if you hear the fucking snare, like I hear the snare right now. That's the first and only thing that I hear when I turn it up to be barely audible. So I know that I gotta bring my snare down a little bit. I also gotta tune my drums. I didn't do that yet. But we're getting there, I know I gotta turn my snare down a little bit. I also kind of want to add some reverb to it to have it sit a little further back in the mix in that little, you know, window there that we're talking about. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So in the beginning, I had a very simple drum pattern. Now I have that very simple drum pattern with the other drum pattern on top of it. So I got the break on top of that. It's low, it's subtle, but now it's time to go back and change the drums and see if we can find a different drum pattern. I'm going to tune the snares now. I'm going to tune them as well. Fuck. Alright, so I turned the first one up. I tuned it up a little bit. I pitched it up because I thought that sounded in tune, and it does. And I turned the second one down a little bit to give it more of a grimy, you know, a little bit more of a fuller body. So that's what I did right there. So now I'm going to go back to my kicks as well. Actually, wait, I'm going to add some reverb. I think the beat's pretty much fucking done. Like, it doesn't need anything else. So yeah, that's the beat. That's the beat right there. A little something I cooked up just now. Found a sample. I kind of ran with it. I don't know if I would run with that sample if I wasn't recording. Try to dig a little deeper, but it worked. And yeah. So if you learned something from this video, or if you like the beat, or if you like the sample, then drop a like. Drop a like, comment, let me know who would sound dope on this, and if you're feeling a little antsy, why don't you hit subscribe too, because I'm going to have more videos either like this, or more videos of me making beats here at home or in the studio. So yeah, I would really appreciate that. Thank you.